This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omejicat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circuit Barrakill, Remy Asalia, Arcadia Lunashine, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstadter, Nat Clay, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rapentau, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grino, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Bay Barbalay, Suno Chicano, Celestao Notrell, Lazy Boy, Abaga Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Yowie Wowie, Kai Lin, AJ Brainswordson, Anathus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, and Cypup. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 279. I'm Lukiel Bravestone, and
Oh, hey.
Hey.
That was quick.
I'm joined today by Mailavana Dar, Georgi Wiston, and Rollo Des. If you didn't know already, this is a spoiler cast. We are continuing where we left off in part 1, 278. That's essentially what we're doing. That's all. That's we don't have any recent events. This is literally just a continuation of the previous episode.
I was laughing at the second story.
The second story?
Oh yeah, nothing.
Oh.
All you know is that recently the fucking Grubhub emotes suck. Sucks. I mean, I got it, but it still sucks.
Do you want to talk about... Was it... Okay. The Grubhub emote thing was a bit of a shit fest, wasn't it?
Some of the worst fucking promotions we had in NA before. Like, usually you guys get the shit ones. This was our shit one.
Yeah.
It was...
Congratulations.
Some people say it's a lottery. I don't know if that's true. They didn't say that anywhere.
No. But
because people that did it late also still got them.
Okay.
sometimes.
Their terms and conditions don't say it's a lottery. So if it is, then they actually just lied to you.
Yeah.
Fine. Only reason why I got it is because the person I told you about that I bought the European copy of, they got the Grubhub too, but they couldn't redeem it because they're an EU account.
Yeah. Oh
I'll
god.
pay you for it. I'm sorry.
Oh, so it was region locked as well.
Yes, it was
Okay.
not like the Butterfingers one.
There you
which
go.
was not region locked.
Right. Makes no sense as usual, but here we go. Apparently, did it ever say limited supply though? Did they like hide that and like? Okay, there you go.
No, it did say it was a limited supply.
Great. Well, at least you had one. You had a campaign. We had nothing. We have still not had the previous campaign either.
No.
So
You know what? It'll probably be better for you guys anyway, because they'll just go on the log station, then you just pay whatever $7 for it. Much cheaper than getting a shitty calzone for $30 from Grubhub that you regret.
true. True. To be fair, yeah. Okay. That's it. Last previous episode, I did say there was going to be a post show where we could read questions from the syndicate. That didn't happen, so we'll do it today. All right, that's it. Now we need to move on and actually continue our spoiler cast. So we left off at Fortunat coming to Thavnir, to Radzat-Han, to talk to the satrap, who now turns out to be a dragon, which comes as a bit of a surprise to Fortunato. They're like, I'm the satrap. He's like, they go off to discuss that. And now
we get offered a feast for all our good work.
Another one. We stop and eat like 5 times in this expansion.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
We deserve it.
Yeah. Is this where we sit at the that restaurant or bar or whatever in Radzat-Han?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we discuss what we've learned and how to deal with that, or how to find a solution to it. It is at this point. When does the first get floated for the first time? Like the idea of traveling there.
At some point we figured out. Oh, I think we figured out the flowers were called Elpis flowers, either from the Watcher or the Unsunded on the Moon.
Yeah.
And so now we're like, do we know any other Ascians? And then Graha is like,
oh yeah,
we trapped one in the tower.
So there might be some remnants of him in the top of the tower, somewhere.
Big tower.
Yes. So they're like, okay, well, maybe we should just go there and maybe we can talk to him.
You can go there.
Yeah, because that's what they realized. They're like, okay, well, there's only one of us that can really go there. So we're tasked with going to the first, which is a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect for us to like do like a big, visiting all the old friends from the first so quickly, but here we are.
We miss them. We got to tell them how Graha's doing.
Yes.
Well, we miss Lena a bit, maybe.
Yeah, Lena
and
was
Moran,
nice.
if he was, and the Numo boy. We miss them.
Every time
what we don't miss is Reen.
Every time I see Moran, I don't want him to turn around because his hair clips through that coat, and it's so bad.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's very nice.
They had the festival without us.
They did have the festival.
Yeah.
We learned from.
Well, remember, time
Lena.
moves like 7 times faster there or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's not that necessarily that it happens faster. It can happen both faster and slower.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah. So Lena tells us that they've had the party, but also that Reen has been odd the past few days. And specifically, I don't know if she told Lena, but she started asking a lot of questions about the source. I think. Yeah. So we have to go meet Reen. And Reen is telling us that her like link with Hydaelyn has always been weak. It's always been like almost completely gone, but now it is. She has no contact at all. And it worries her, obviously, because she's supposed to be the Oracle of Light, and now she can't talk to the light. Where does that go? Does that go anywhere?
Nowhere.
No, it's just kind of left there, and you're like,
we
okay.
just say, you'll be okay. I need to go to the Oculus.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And then we do one of those quests, which, okay, I both love and hate them. I love them because you get to talk to, like, old characters again, but I also hate them because they take so long. You know, the one where it pans. And it always does the full sweep, and then the full
because it has to have the other person
back.
walk away and
yeah, I
load
know.
out.
It's a little annoying. So that's where you meet Moran and the Numo. I always forget their name.
Becklug.
Yeah, Becklug. There's not really. This is just like fuzzy, like how meeting our friends again.
Well, this is just like a nice catch up with the characters from the first.
Yeah. Doesn't progress the plot. We are given access to the Oculus by. I think Lena gives us access to the Oculus.
Give us the keys.
Where we interface with a computer that's very like Siri/Alexa-esque in like the way it talks. Which I thought was funny. And sorry, the ocular. Not the Oculus.
Ocular,
Sorry,
not
it's the
Oculus
ocular.
Rift.
Oculus Rift. Yeah, we bring Elidibus back, which is very sad.
That was a good scene. This was a bit of a highlight where he's kind of like, I mean, he obviously doesn't like us still that much, but he's kind of just like, okay,
yeah.
what do you want me for?
He also
I can feel that Zodiac's dead.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Here's a magical portal to the past.
Yeah, and he
And you're like, okay, cool.
and he's literally just giving the last energy he's got left. Like everything.
Yeah, he dies.
He dies
Essentially,
Well,
dies
I assume he
permanently.
returns.
Yeah.
I assume he returns to the life strain.
But that is,
Hmm.
for all intents and purposes, in this world, death.
I mean, yeah, but we've witnessed worse death where you don't even get that.
That's true.
That's true.
That's
Mega
That's
death.
super death. You go to super hell.
Yeah. So what happened? So he says you have to go to this place. We're told we're going back in time. And I'm like, oh no, time
'Cause-
travel. Here we go.
We ask him about the Elpis flower. He's like, "Oh, Elpis. Well, that's not the name of the flower. That's the name of the place."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, actually, I think I remember seeing you there."
Yeah.
So, which I don't think we ever see him there. But
No.
Well,
maybe that's
I
something
think
in
we
the future.
will.
Yeah.
I think we will. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, like, "Yeah, you're gonna be intangible. Don't try to talk to anyone. It's not gonna work. Figure something out while you're there."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
He
you don't
also-
want to try and change
Yeah.
anything because then you might not even be affecting the same future.
Right.
That's true. And we go there, and it's, in my mind, this is an instance.
This is an
Yes.
instance because you are
It's a big room.
tiny
We
little.
interact with people. Nothing happens. They don't like us.
No.
But luckily,
Well, they-
stare at them.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
two likely lads appear. Big, tall, nice lads appear, and they spy us.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
one
it
of them
turns out-
spies us and tries to act like he doesn't see
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And the
None
other's
of my
like, "Oh, what is
business."
this?" And they give us some ether, and they can see us and talk to us. It's
Well,
Emmett Selk.
Okay. Yeah. Because
And
that's like a moment where they
Hythlodaeus.
have to unmask. We already
Mhm.
know who they are. Well, one of them are because I think they
Yeah.
talk before the mask is taken off.
Why does he look like Xehanort though?
Same reaction I
Why?
He's
Saw him, I was
Nordic.
like, oh.
It was very weird.
I could not get that out of my mind. I was like, that's just him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So
But they let us in. They opened the big door, and my God, it's that place. It's the artwork that we weren't sure
yeah.
where would be.
What did they say to you what did Hythlodaeus say when you were like made tangible and the right size?
What did he
Can
say?
he say different things?
He says different things depending on your race. Like if you're a Lullafell, he says "Oh, are you sure you made it big enough?"
I think he might
And
have
then-
mentioned we
and
were a
then-
bit like the creature in here, or something, like one of the creatures
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then I think he says that to us because we don't play yours. And then he also says, Emmett Selk responds like something like, would it not be like terrifying if I made it the same size as us with these proportions?
Oh. Yeah. I don't remember what he told me, but they also said
He just comments. He's like, "Oh, you're like a beast, but also a person."
Oh,
Something like that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you have a tail." I was like, "Oh, that's
Oh.
weird."
They also mentioned that our soul is the same color as M's.
Yes, and they assume we are a construct of hers.
Yeah.
Or his.
Or his, depending on
Yes.
your character.
Yeah.
Oh, is it actually gendered based on your character?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you're
Alright.
them. So the zone, Elpis.
Elpis, yeah.
It's like
Yeah, Elpis.
Elpis.
Got him.
Good team.
Very nice zone.
It's beautiful. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's the best looking zone, probably, in the expansion.
Filled with such awful creatures that they just let roam about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't think you should have an Ixion herd just right there.
I hate
I
the half
Can we
like
unmake them whenever they want?
it's like there's one that's like half like bird or dodo and like I don't know and like snake head or whatever. It's a disgusting
But yeah,
creature.
it's like I think they're like Phineas's or something
Yeah.
like that.
Also, there's like it's supposed to be it's like an Yggdrasil. It's not called Yggdrasil, but it's like Yggdra.
trees.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
trees
trees.
with like the flat leaves.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, so music of Elpis. I don't know if I remember it right now.
No, it feels a bit forgettable now that I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, everyone's trying to remember.
I recall it too. I remember the other zones, but not this one.
Yeah, I guess Elpis didn't have that good music because it was very forgettable.
Yeah, there was so much happening that maybe I just didn't pay any
Yeah.
attention to it.
It was probably nice, but it's obviously a fairly
Yeah,
normal music.
yeah. That doesn't
Oh, yeah,
matter because the
I'm-
zone itself was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the sound was good.
Fucked up though. The first second you get in there, he's like, "All right, you can't. You look like a little piece of shit in those clothes. You can't do that here,
Yeah.
man. That's not allowed."
Yeah, here's some
Yeah,
spoiler
let's kill
clothes
some
to put on.
butterflies
Yeah,
Yeah,
and turn them into clothes. That's
I
not
felt
nice.
so
Yeah,
bad
unmake
killing the
them.
butterflies. I was like, "Oh, you're unmaking
yeah, but to them
them."
it means nothing.
I know, but
That's-
it's so fucked up.
That's
It's
the
like,
whole
oh.
theme of the entire zone.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
yeah.
I put them on because not only are they the best clothes we've had for a while, like glamour-wise, I wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
There's also a couple of references to the story of Azem with the volcano and the grapes.
Mhm.
I believe that happens here in Elpis. You can even choose that as one of the answers. I don't remember the context of it, but I thought that was fun. That's like a reward for having read the side stories.
Yes.
Makes no sense otherwise. Though.
No.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah. We are.
No, that
yeah.
that reference to the grapes doesn't happen until we actually go back to Labyrinthos and we're showing
Oh yeah, that's true.
looking way the grapes.
That's true. But I do believe they also mention this or reference it in Elpis, but I don't
They
remember.
talk
Yeah, I
about
do
the
think they
volcano.
reference that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Azem
talk about a volcano.
does things like that.
Yeah.
Why do we sound awesome? Like Azem sounds like a great person to be around.
Yeah,
I was hoping we were gonna meet them. Honestly, I thought that would have been cool.
Same.
yeah, but it would
I
be.
was
Yeah, 'cause
because
I'm
I
like, how are
wanted
they
that
gonna solve that?
that wrap up.
Yeah,
I don't see. The thing is, I could see us meeting Azem, but it won't be in Elpis. It'll be in some sort of other instance where they can just use the non-distinct model for the ancients.
I mean,
possibly.
they could always just make two Azems, like a male and a female one, and I mean, they don't have to look like you.
Well,
No one.
yes,
No.
they do. They are because they specifically say you look like them.
Yeah.
Well,
So
no, your soul does.
well, we
No, they say that you look like them.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
we've seen them use our character against us, like in the Dark Knight quest, but that is like a 1-to-1 copy, and that wouldn't quite make sense because we are different, even though we look like. So I don't know. That's probably why we'll probably not meet them unless, like Yorgi said, we see them in that form. Okay. We are introduced to Hermes and Meteon, his little
Hermes
bird
is, of course,
construct.
the person who roughly became Van Daniel, who we have now,
Yes. Yes.
in a convoluted way.
Yeah.
Emmett Selk is here for a job interview to
Mhm.
recruit him to the convocation.
Yeah.
And the
Hickle
current
Deus
Van
is here.
Daniel's leaving,
Yes.
and they want a new Van Daniel.
Yeah.
And we're there
leaving
too.
to return to the star.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when people have finished their work in the Unsundered world. They just they
Die.
choose to return to death.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it's a beautiful thing, apparently.
Well,
Apparently,
that's what they say.
In
But a
their
lot of
society.
people, we learn that a lot of people, well, not a lot, but some decide
not a lot.
to
At
go
least
back.
two.
At least 2.
Mhm.
They do not go back. We will meet them in a bit, but Meteon is probably
Oh.
the most important character we meet in this story, because she's different from the other creatures on Elpis because she does not consist. Well, she doesn't consist of ether, but she's very thin. Her ether is very thin because
hard
she.
to perceive,
Yeah.
even with Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus' lovely eyes.
Yeah. She does not use the power of ether, but something else called dynamis,
Which is Akasha, essentially.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
She is an Enteleki.
She is an Enteleki.
Yeah.
And she sort of feels the emotions of people around her. She's a bit like a walking Elpis flower.
Yes.
Terrible at talking, though. She has to talk to us through mind reading.
Oh yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
very
and-
interesting. The first time she talks, she's like stumbling through her words and like relatable,
Yeah.
relatable.
So So at this, when she says that she's an Enteleki, we sort of say maybe we're an Enteleki, and then I think it's Emmett Selk that says, "No, you aren't. Shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shuts you down.
Yeah.
He was the best part of this whole zone.
Yeah.
You're just thin.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, he just didn't like us.
No.
She was fine at this point, Meteon. She's like a bit stupid, very anime, but acceptable.
What are you talking about, Mela? This is the power of friendship game. What are you talking about?
She's just the monster girl harpy character.
She
Yeah.
ain't got no ears. You got.
She's got
wings.
little the cool that was a nice thing. The fact that she has the little wing ear things, because that is a sort of reference to Hermes from mythology.
Oh yeah, that's true. So the whole Also, I didn't like Meteon, and I know a lot of people like Meteon, but there is
I don't
just
like Meteon, but it's not for this reason I don't like Meteon.
No.
At this point, I could just about stomach Meteon.
She's just a little.
Well,
kid.
sometimes you can just predict things because you've seen the trope before, and it was like, I know that this isn't. Something's wrong with you. And it was. We'll get to that. But we'll go. So, do we meet Vana before we do the next part?
Well, yeah, because Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus, Emmett Selk is interviewing Hermes, and Hermes is like, I don't know about this, because then the former fan Daniel will return to the live stream. I don't like how we don't care about when things die in this world.
Yeah.
And then because they're having a minor disagreement, Meteon starts to feel ill, so we have to take her outside.
Oh, yes. True.
I couldn't stand. If she was real, I wouldn't be able to stand her.
Why? Yeah, that's so mean.
You feel sick because someone around you is having a slight disagreement.
She's literally. She tunes into
She's
emotions.
designed like that.
She's literally built like that.
Melee,
Awful.
you can never go against the cute little anime
No, I know
girls
you can't.
on this show. All right. So we go. So Vana is this? So we literally this is now we meet her now when we're going around with
So-
Meteon.
The
There's
important-
like you go around the zone and Hermes is showing you various tasks he does, and sometimes like there's a funny bit where everyone's talking to Meteon, so they miss out on it and whatever. It's like, haha, she's so
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
dynamic and cool. And then eventually we meet up with Vana, who has her own little like research outpost on an island. And I don't think
she's
anything
helping
of
with
much
someone
value
else's
happens.
Research.
Yeah.
Well, a shark that she's chasing after a. What do they call Spriggans in this world?
They're just Spriggans. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna
Just
try.
Spriggans, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw axolotls and Spriggans, and that's another important thing is that
It's
Hermes.
stolen
They're
a
cold.
crystal.
They're called amberstomas. Thank you very much, Rollo.
Yeah.
Fuck is that? Well, Hermes
Aureas.
feels bad.
Aureas. Aureani.
Aureai is like the singular.
They're
and then Aureus is
Spriggans.
the plural.
But Hermes feels a duty to everything there and the research station, which I guess we didn't say is they're researching shit there to see if
This is
creation
where
can be left
they
to the wild.
Yes.
But he a lot of people, as you're tagging along with them before you meet Vana. A lot of people like, oh, this one's fucked up. Just unmake it and start again. He's like, no,
And he
no,
doesn't want to
man.
do that.
No,
Yeah.
it's sad. Let's not do that. I don't want to. Let's try and teach them how to fly.
We feel force Emmett Silk to help us reteach a Sanua. They're not called that because it's the past. But
Because this one
reteach a
had started
Sanua.
absorbing water ether, so it couldn't fly anymore for some reason.
Well, it tried to fly, is the story, and then it landed on the ground, and so it didn't want to try and fly again. But then we bully Emmett Silk into helping us, which I imagine it happens a lot to him in the past.
Yeah.
Apparently, he'll just go along with anything if you just go pretty please. Emmett Silk, please.
Yeah. All right. So, what? So, okay. So, Meteon's. We have to go heavy recap because this is literally the end. A lot of story threads are now being started and wrapped.
A lot of story threads are being made up at this point.
Yeah.
For us to wrap up everything.
So, did we mention that Hermes sent her sisters to space?
That
This
doesn't
is
happen
a
yet.
little bit.
We need
later
to
on.
Before that even happens, though, Vana, when she meets us, she's like, "You have a spell on you that I made, but I have never met you before."
Right.
Yeah, she recognizes the Hyderlayan blessing, the echo on us.
Yeah.
I don't think we can skip the fact that we revealed to Emmett Silk, Hythlodaeus, and Vana that we're from the future.
Oh yeah, which is really funny because they find us and then they just drag us along and they never really inquire about why we're like.
Well,
I would have been like, listen, you little shit, lock me in a little room. You will say where you're from. And I was surprised he didn't. He's like, oh, well, anyways, here's everything we do here. Everything we do. Here's some intrigue with Hermes.
Yeah, they just think that Azem made us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that apparently is a great enough excuse that people will accept it.
Yeah.
Everyone just accepts that Azem would make something like this.
Yeah.
So the sort of the main plot point of this area is that Hermes is depressed because everyone's unmaking his creations rather than trying to help him. He doesn't believe in like this society. He made Meteon along with loads of other Meteons that they're all he only kept one at this point, and he sends them all up to space to find the answer to some questions about what the meaning of life is.
Yeah, it's a very specific question. Which I should have remembered the wording of.
He should have been a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Specific.
It wasn't specific.
Or less specific.
Yeah.
He basically asked the wrong type of question. Sent thousands of.
What do you live for?
What do you live for?
Yeah. Or what gives your life meaning? Whatever. One of is the same
basically
idea. Yeah.
Everyone came back saying, "Lol, not worth living."
Well, no, actually, quite shockingly, they come back and most of the worlds are dead already.
Well,
and the few or dying, and the few ones they do find life on, they're dying, and they don't really want to live anymore.
Yeah, Meteon sort of cascades into a downward spiral of just ultra depression. Becomes emo.
Spooky blood coming from creepypasta face.
Well, she also panics and leaves. Like she doesn't want to report to Hermes.
This is the worst quest in the zone.
This fucking quest. I swear to the 12.
Because she uses Dynamis to hide herself, which makes her invisible to the ether side of Hythlodaeus and Emmett Silk.
This was like, if anything was padded, it was this stupid quest where we had to chase her for about 45 minutes.
Listen, it was fine until they tell you to go up on the platform, the little garden thing with all the marbles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god!
And enemies just keep spawning, and if you can't find it, they just keep trying to fuck you. Like, where
that
are
happens
you?
because we all discuss together. Like, we have to tell Hermes about the future. Like, we can't. We have to know if he would actually do what the future Fandaniel does.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're a little bit out of time order here.
Yeah.
Because
I know
that happens before she does the thing.
we also have the discussion with Emmett Selk, Ithildaeus, and Vanar. Emmett Selk essentially says, "I don't believe you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to her panicking. We have to do this horrible quest where we have to try to catch up with her. Goes on forever. I especially hated the part where we're at that. You've already done this for like 15 minutes or 10. Oh, I'm exaggerating. 10 minutes, let's say. And you're at this part with the water and the like. That part of the story, and you have to go with Emmett Selk, and you're literally going in circles. Like you make a full circle around an area you've already technically been. It was very annoying.
You gotta round her up.
Yeah. All the while it plays the scary things are happening music or the action music. Yeah.
Did you force Emmett Selk over the waterfall?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I did. I'm pretty sure.
No, I didn't either.
Mm.
I went down the side.
Yeah.
What does
I didn't want him to be more mad at me.
Whatever. I mean, doesn't matter. I was there to find Meteon. I don't care if he's annoyed at me for forcing him down the waterfall. He doesn't say anything, by the way. If you do that, it doesn't affect anything.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, we catch and Hermes is there, and he transforms, which is considered a vulgar act. Basically, like displaying himself in public.
It's like showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he takes her away to the dungeon.
Yeah.
I feel like this could have been a just talk moment.
Yeah.
Of like, because Emmett's like, okay, some shit's happening. We gotta take her with us now, because this sounds important or dire.
Well, yeah. He essentially says, "Turn that thing off.
Yeah.
Stop her from talking."
And then Hermes like, no, I need to listen to it right now.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he could just be like, all right, listen to him right now?
Yeah.
like that would have been it.
Yeah.
I found this whole bit quite frustrating because, this is two very important members of the convocation, or one very important member of the convocation, and Ithildaeus, who's super cool anyway. And they could have done something to shut this down, but they just let it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Van Daniel, or I think Hermes is supposed to be relatively powerful as well.
He doesn't act very powerful. He seems like the absolute weakest little child in the whole place. He's crying over all the concepts being removed all the time. Couldn't stand him.
It took 3 Unsundered and us to defeat him.
Do you not feel bad for him? I understand her.
No.
What? Really?
I didn't feel bad for him. I felt bad for him when there was the dog we had to put down.
Well, that's what he does every
bad.
day.
Yeah.
Like, he has to kill his own creations.
I'm okay with that, but I don't think him sending this, like, why do you live rubbish into the stars?
Okay.
And then getting upset.
I will agree with that. That is a little out there. That he's like, "Ooh, I'm so emotional. We have to ask the rest of the planets, what do you live for?" I mean, yes, that's weird.
He's just curious, and then he has to deal with the injustice that everyone else just ignores.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Am I crazy?"
Yeah. Just that he is weird about it doesn't mean that it's it makes sense for his character to do that, because that's what he's like.
Even ignoring the dogs that he had to put down, Ithildaeus, a character that I would assume most people like, is able to just unmake the butterflies, and no one thinks it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That's the nice
Hermes
part.
has to know that he exists in a society like this where people just don't care about the lives of things that aren't the Unsundered.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that side of it. I just feel like the end half of his sort of the conclusion of this society I don't like, make little children and send them to space.
Well, what essentially the reason it fucks him up so much is that the answer is essentially what he feared, is that no one cares, and it's that was the answer.
Bad.
So everything is bad.
I mean, Hermes was essentially afraid that the Unsundered Society would end up being the final section of Dead Ends, which we'll talk about when we get there as well.
Yeah.
That's what the Unsundered Society was on the way to becoming.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
You guys like the Fermi's paradox? Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
Family
that's
paradox,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what it is.
straight up that.
Yeah. Okay. So now we
But
go to
yeah, now we go to the dungeon. It's Katis's
Katis's
Hyperborea.
Hyperborea.
We skipped the Vanar instance. What did you enjoy that?
Oh yeah, we have
Oh,
to do that.
yeah.
That's we talked about that in the part 1, but for us to ride Argos, we need to prove our strength. So we have to fight Vanar. It was an alright fight.
I thought it was quite decent, and it sets you up for the second trial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Music in there is real nice too.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it, you're like, all right, she's a boss.
Yeah.
lady.
Okay. I think we are. I think we are doing this the wrong way. I think. I think the dungeon is before this, because we don't understand the. Or is it before? Where are
the last
we?
thing we do is the dungeon.
Oh, is that the last thing we do on
is the
Elpis?
dungeon, because after the dungeon is when everyone's lost their memories except Vanar at that point.
Oh fuck, you're right. I forgot about the
Yeah.
memory wipe.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah.
We need Argos to travel to that island with the pink tree on it, because that's where
Yes,
they send
we need to
Meteons
do
off
our
from.
investigations.
Right.
That's
There's a
what triggers us to
um,
go to Hermes and Meteon and say,
Mhm.
would you do this? Or you have bad plans about the future?
All right. Let's talk about the fight. Yeah, the music is nice. It'll serve you well in the trial that will come later, and I don't really.
Not that hard.
It's
but
not very hard.
Would not expect Island to use chakrams on our weapons.
No,
never guessed
but I
that.
really like that she's changing jobs, like in the middle of the
Yes.
fight.
Why can't we do that? Come
But we can't do that in battle, so that's cheating.
on.
And in
Yeah.
the Shadowbringers trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to bring that
Yeah.
up.
Leonardo DiCaprio trailer.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, now Katisis
Dungeon.
Hyperborea.
Aurora
Katisis.
Borealis.
Hate everything
Katisis
about
Hyperborea.
Elpis's names. Yeah. Hyperborea.
Pretty cool
Oh, yeah.
dungeon.
This-
That was the
This-
previous exam as well. That's pretty important.
What'd you say?
That was the previous exam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but not the one we're related to.
Yes.
No.
Let's
Oh,
talk,
yes.
Okay, but let's talk about the dungeon. We're getting very stuck in the story. The dungeon.
I like it, except the Lisa or whatever the first boss is called, the thing that hides underground and
The
crawls
fake
to the
crofter.
different things. That was good the first time, but God, when you have to spam that dungeon, those times where you just can't attack are annoying.
Yeah.
The rest of the dungeon's good though.
Let's not ignore that if you do this with trusts, you're with Emmett Selk, Hitler Deus, and Vanar.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. It was better with
This-
trusts.
I mean, okay, let's just not skip over the fact that we did this with them. Like that was a pretty big moment when that happened, because you're kind of getting the idea of that happening while you're outside of the dungeon, because you're like, the first time I got there outside of that building, I'm like, oh, this is a dungeon, but then the story just takes you
Yeah.
away from it. I'm like, I guess
Yeah.
it's not a dungeon.
Yeah, because they describe it and like that sounds like the dungeon from the dungeon preview.
Yeah.
And then we go past it because Meteon and Hermes aren't here. We have to go to that. We have to go do that thing that eventually we end up chasing them.
Yeah.
I liked that we got to be with them. They were more fun than if somehow they'd shoehorned the Scions in somehow. It was way better this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool. It
so
had like
that's
different
cool.
interesting sections. It has a fake loading screen on the last zone that I discovered today.
A fake loading screen.
Yeah, when you when you jump up on those platforms,
Yeah.
you like fly upwards.
Yeah.
After one of them, it does like a whole screen effect where it's loading the second half of the
Oh, I see.
which is
Okay.
funny.
All right.
And
If
then you
you-
do the Hermes fight.
If you have Emmett Selk play as a black mage, he will actually use skills from his fight in
Oh,
at the end of Shadowbringers.
That's
really?
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, they also critique the monsters the entire time. Like they keep
Yeah.
shitting on
And
them.
he's like, this is popular now or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, people,
Yeah.
I like
how unoriginal.
what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I liked the second boss as well, how you had to pay attention to which snake was lit up. So the
Yeah.
snake head was lit up, so you know which quarter or third of the arena to be in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And
a
then they do
Cerberus
something-
kind of thing.
And then they do a very similar mechanic in the ITS scope.
Yeah.
That's true. It's also actually a mechanic from the Bosnian Southern Front as well, and maybe even before that.
Oh yeah, true. That's true.
Um,
Yeah. So okay, so the bosses are the snake thing.
Yeah,
Well,
Lisa.
it's the pre Hrothgar, the
Yeah.
snake, the 3-headed snake king, and then it's Hermes.
Yeah, and then it's
Hermes.
Hermes.
He's not that good as a fight, actually. He was probably the weakest of the three.
He's a little bit of a
Enjoyed the Hermes
pushover.
fight.
Yeah.
It just was windy things mostly. He just like it didn't do much at all. He just tanked and
It's the
spanked.
mechanic where you had to find the right rock to hide behind.
Yeah.
Well, 3 of them are cracked immediately, and 1 isn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't that hard, but it's a dungeon boss, so you know how
Yeah.
hard can they be?
He was cool.
But
and
yeah,
no, that's true. He used some Amon.
yeah, he
moves
did
and
use some
stuff.
Amon
There were
moves.
references.
Yeah.
Now that's unoriginal.
Yeah. Okay, so the end of that fight is where really the story starts to like reveal itself like fully, because at this point I'm still a little like, what the fuck, where is this story going?
Yeah.
What does this have to
You
do
really-
with the shit happening, you know, in our world?
At this point, all you know, the big thing is Dynamis.
Yeah.
Like that's your big like something Dynamis.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also know that Fen Daniel, or Hermes, has to have something to do with it
Yeah.
because he was the one that eventually triggers the final days, but we don't know how or why.
So we see Meteon. She is scary.
The neural network
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. She's just. I think she's still reporting, like she's finishing her report
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she just like scary mode. She turns like black.
Creepypasta
She
face.
turns
Oh
black
no.
gothic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets well the
The blood came
eye,
from her eyes.
I think the blood from her eyes thing isn't that from like the black stuff from her eyes? Isn't that earlier? Isn't that when she
think
first started
so,
reporting?
yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, she
No,
now.
she doesn't turn black until after the dungeon.
No, I know she
think
doesn't
she's
turn
still
black.
blue.
Huh? Until after. Oh, is she still blue? And
Yeah, I think so. I think she's still blue until after the dungeon, specifically.
when is
Yeah,
after the dungeon
after
for
the
you?
fight, she starts going through like
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the cutscene
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she turns black, and she's like
Her feathers turn black.
yeah, her feathers turn black. Yeah, I should say. Well, her outfit too. Like she has like a little
Yeah, she becomes emo.
yeah.
Like, ooh, everyone's dead. Bye. I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hermes sends her away or something like that. Like, you could come test us or something later on.
Does he? Doesn't this where she I thought
He
she started.
escapes or
She just escapes, doesn't she? And then
Well, Hermes encourages her to leave,
oh yeah,
and then that's when he says, "This is my challenge to mankind. Can humans like overcome the despair that
Yeah.
exists throughout the universe?" And so he locks us up, and he summons Kairos, and he's like, "I'm gonna erase all our memories."
yeah. But unfortunately,
the big clock people.
yeah,
was weird.
unfortunately, Ikaros has a lot of tasks that he still needs to finish.
The slowest memory wiping machine.
Yeah.
Which I guess you just can't stop, no
Right.
matter what
Straight
you
from
do.
the Pink Panther or something.
Open Task Manager, end task. Yeah, so he starts counting down very slowly. A very nice voice, by the way, for that.
He has the same voice actor as Fortunato.
That makes sense then. Yeah.
Anar jumps on Argos and flies after her and wants to catch her.
Well, you're
She
skipping a lot,
breaks
but
3 of the chains, fucking just as if there were nothing there.
yeah.
She's pretty strong. She's cool. You know, she's power of being.
There's a bit of a twist
Vana.
that's introduced, is that they it's kind of implied that they're gonna get their memories wiped. You know, that's gonna happen. And I think Hythlodaeus is like, oh, I know how to shoot a hole here, because there's like a crack or whatever. I don't remember what it was. But that was just a ruse to trick Hermes into like shooting us off the platform, and then there was like this big like double trickery going on, because then Emmett Selk just knows where the crack is, blows a hole.
Yeah, he got bamboozled.
Yeah, he got bamboozled. But anyways, it allows Vana to escape, but unfortunately Hythlodaeus and Emmett Selk remains with Hermes, and their memories are wiped. Okay, so now she's going after Meteon, and she puts a fucking tracker on her. Which, cool. That's that plot point sewn.
And then we fly out with her on Argus through the crack in the whatever we're trapped in this Kairos dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. It's the memory wipe zone.
Yeah. Okay, so post dungeon and all that.
Oh no, our memories have been wiped. I don't remember anything.
Not ours.
Yeah.
I mean that ours isn't like that itself. And
Oh yeah.
Hythlodaeus is like, I'm missing a bloody hole in my memory.
Yeah. They're kind of pissed. Without knowing why. Well, they're pissed because their memory got wiped, but
and they think that Meteon just blew up.
Yeah.
So that's what triggered it.
Yeah. And that's when we have this.
They still let Hermes join the convocation.
Yeah, they still did.
Yeah. Why wouldn't?
And he was actually kind of annoyed about that as well. As like, we need to have this interview, which we've probably already had, but now we have to do it again. So that happens. We have a talk with Vana about the world. She asks about like if, Hydaelyn, or our version of the planet, is beautiful as theirs, and I think we can answer there, can't we?
Yeah, I said it was beautiful.
Yes.
I think
there's
it's
that.
beautiful still.
Sorry, I was thinking earlier when she asked, "Was your journey worth it?" and we don't get to answer.
Oh yeah. And yeah, that sort of concludes. She follows us back to where we came from, and we are sent back.
You have the answers you need, and I have what I need to. I know now what I need to do to set the course of events.
Yeah. So we travel through the shard space. It's just shards flying past with memories and things that have happened, I guess.
This is an amazing scene.
It is. We first see Hermes being, sworn in or whatever as Fandaniel.
Fandaniel.
And then there's a shard of the final days, and it's just all red and scary.
The scene of Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus is very sad.
Yeah, it is very sad.
Which actually does say Hythlodaeus can't be anyone as a shard because he was sacrificed.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's not anyone we know.
No.
Feels bad.
Well, we did meet him on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still chilling on the moon in perpetual sadness.
Yeah.
Not anymore. We released him into the live stream.
But he was there for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah, he's not had a good time.
So there's we get to see Vana as well in the final days as she makes her way to
walks through the street.
Yeah, she walks to the people that have been like worshiping Zodiark.
She's walking.
Yeah. And I guess that's the moment she summons Hydaelyn, right? Is that what's happening there?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys that she's speaking to says the line from the trailer that we were all questioning, who said that? And it was fucking no one.
It was no one.
Some dude.
Just some dude. Her collaborators weren't voluntary. That's true. The people that were like, so she
just kind of did that. I thought it was going to be more of a grand, like, "Oh, what are we gonna do at this meeting?"
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, actually, you know what? This sucks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Essentially, yes. And then there's this scene, yeah, where she just walks, and you can see like, well, Hydaelinian people. You can tell by what their clothes and their races.
Got them 1.0 clothes.
The 1.0 clothes. She gets covered in like black goo.
I think it's supposed to be blood.
Yeah, that is the most jarring censorship I've seen. It's weird. They are terrified of blood in this game. They do show it, but when they do, it's very sparingly, like a little dribble from the mouth.
Weren't the amount of time she gets like hurt is supposed to represent the times that they do a rejoining, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
if you
so,
count it,
yeah.
Yeah.
it does that.
Every time she was disappointed.
Yeah, and she gets weaker every time, which makes sense
Yeah.
with what we know.
Yeah.
So,
And then the most confusing scene happens too, actually. Like at the very end of it, where it does a flashback to the end of Shadowbringers with Emmett Selk, and he's like, staring at you.
oh yeah,
And then like as she's trudging forward, it starts flashing back to you also trudging forward.
yeah,
Which had me for like, are we Vanada?
Yeah.
Is that what they were trying to say? I don't think it's the case.
Definitely not.
I think it's just meant to be like symbolic that we're like sharing
Yeah.
in her like. I don't know. It was a weird scene. I don't know what to pull from that.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah. I don't know. Light standing against the darkness.
Yeah,
We're walking the
that's-
same
yeah.
path. Us walking with her. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like that. It's
Yeah.
we're just we're going the same way. Yeah. Okay. And then we are back on our home world.
First, and then we go to the
Oh,
source.
sorry. Yes, we wake up on the
Oh.
first, which is completely
We
like
don't do
dead
much
quiet.
there, though.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. It's
I liked
creepy.
that. It
And then
was
we get a
like,
flashback of like how it used. No,
Yeah.
that was when we first came into the tower, maybe, or was it the?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we see all our friends, whatever.
Anyway, we go back
We go
to
back.
the source, and then we're told like, oh yeah, everyone's gone to Garlemald because the final days have come there.
Yes.
So you should probably go help them.
Yeah.
Oh, what? The people from Red's at Hand just want to go up to the Tower of Babel
Yeah.
to go to the moon? Because that'd be easier going through the fucking destroyed city filled with Magitech? Great idea, Fortunal. Yeah.
That was
Amazing idea.
interesting
It's
plan.
literally a teleporter to the moon, though. It's a little bit
I can
faster
see
than
why
a
they would
massive
want to do
rocket
that
ship.
because we haven't learned that yet, but they aren't fully confident in the ship they have made.
Their rocket, yeah.
It's still such a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And I like
I
how he
don't
goes
think so.
with... But he goes with people from Red's at Hand before his own people. So he's like, let me...
Well, no, that
it's
is
just-
fair.
Well,
Yeah.
they're
But
closer.
I feel like it's a
Yeah.
pretty solid plan other
At
than
first-
the Magitech.
I don't know if we talked about this, but at first, when we learned about like the forum's plans, I genuinely thought up until the moment I think they said it at some point, but for a very long time, I thought, are they just gonna save their own? Like it felt like
Oh,
they were
yeah, I
just
thought
gonna
they would.
take
Yeah.
Charlie in. So I was a bit worried about that. So yeah, no, we go back. Xenos appears during this
Yay.
whole
Instance where we play as Alphino and Alizé.
yeah, there's a lot here. There's this fight. There's a duty where we fight people that are turning because shit's going down.
Because.
So Xenos comes after that, right? This is all a blur to me because this was a lot.
We should probably say we figured out what's causing people to turn. It's the power of Meteon's dynamis all the way from the far end of space.
Right.
And the reason that the unsunded people didn't turn is because they're too ether dense, so it only affected their creations.
Yes. Yes.
And the reason why it's happening now, to us, the final days, is because Zodiac was a shield of thick ether around the planet.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think it would have been that
sort of.
simple.
Yeah.
They were like a balance.
He was a good guy when he was imprisoned. He wasn't. It wasn't his will exactly, but yeah. So that's what's causing this now. And Xenos appears at the end of the duty.
Yeah, he
to
just
save
saves
someone.
Yeah.
Save someone.
Yeah.
I was like, why'd you do that? What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
It's like, it was prey. It was in my way. And then he just walks away.
Yeah.
And then
No, he's
Alexander-
like that. You know, you're like, oh, was it worth doing all of? You know, was this a good plan? It didn't work out. He's like, oh, damn, no, you're right. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he doesn't
Julius-
have any answers to you.
He doesn't really care.
No.
He essentially. I wrote down the quote because I think it's pretty. This is when I was really starting to turn around on Xenos when he's like, "Would you be happier had I a good reason?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Yeah." No, I wouldn't.
No.
I don't think it matters
No.
what your reason is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just think he's, you know,
Yeah.
he's also a theme of this expansion in that he's the person who's reached his height or whatever and can't get that high again. He's one of the many sort of end of civilization type
Mhm.
allegories that they do for.
Yeah.
Reason to be filled with despair, but he won't let it. He
Yeah.
wants to feel that ecstasy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
away.
they all just they're like, okay, we need to like get out of here, and we'll just continue with the ship idea, I guess. We travel back to Labyrinthos again.
Well, we should say that because we saved Fortunal and the refugees, they are like, okay, we kind of owe you something now.
Yeah. Let's see.
The
Oh,
big
God.
plan. We
Yeah,
got
the-
the big plan.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the big plan. I feel like there's a step missing here, but anyways, okay. So we travel. Yeah, when do we learn about the issues with the rocket? Is that in
Around
the
this time, it doesn't
Later.
exactly matter where, but it's around this time we find out that they're not quite ready with the ship.
Yeah. Oriange comes back with the Loporits as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's when
And this
they're
is
like, oh yeah,
This is where Fortunate first sees, oh, these are our collaborators, are they?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, but Alfie is like, hey, so the form and Dad,
Mhm.
We know you're having trouble with the engine. We can probably take a look
Yeah.
and fix it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
if we fix it,
it,
I want two things: one to meet Heidelin, and one we might have another use for the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and well, I love how the forum is like, you think you can fix this thing
Yep.
that we just told you about,
yeah.
That's right.
that you've never heard of before.
I can make a
Yeah.
rocket more efficient.
Yeah.
Duh.
Of course we can.
Yeah.
And spoilers, we do.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We
They need refined adamantite. We meet this cool Lalafell dude. I love
Yeah,
this.
he's a great character.
I love him. We need refined adamantite.
Oh yeah, the blacksmith.
And
guy.
I don't remember
like
his name right now, but he is really good. And he's like, oh my god, we need like 3% or 4% more or whatever. Sounds like a very tiny amount, but it is very important. So to do that, they need to improve their ether burner, which requires refined adamantite, which is most easily found in Allegan relics, which
Specifically, shards of Dalamud.
shards of Dalamud specifically, yes. So we're like, okay, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
We send out
we know
everyone.
I know a guy.
Yeah. So we I think Alphinel starts like coordinating some sort of a mission to send people out to all the different, because there's a lot of them strewn all over Eorzea. So
Yeah. Well, the world in general.
well, the world in general, but mostly in
Eorzea.
Eorzea. I believe in a
The
later
Far
cutscene.
Eastern people got a different type of relic.
Yeah, because they said we don't really have any shards of Dalamud here, so
We got ether.
yeah, they have
and
they have
some
their
relics.
relics.
Oh yeah, they bring along the
Treasures and
katana or
stuff.
something of
Oh yeah,
like-
it's the Tenzin.
tens. Yeah,
Mm,
crazy.
yes.
The Phoenix katana.
Yeah,
But while they're all doing that, we're like, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
right.
Let's do some miscellaneous fetch quests and show
Yeah.
the Loporits around.
Yeah, filler.
Yeah, funny lopperate. They don't know things.
I liked this filler. I liked
I liked
talking
this
away
filler
about all
as
the
well.
vegetables
I thought it was
and
all
fruits.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
fruit
fine.
one was funny. With only
The
like
deceiver.
yes, the lemon. And it was nice
The
because he's like,
entire time, though, the
Yeah.
most intense music just doesn't match. I thought they would have started playing that music like once we got the parts in and we're making our way. We're like, no.
yeah,
While you're doing the fetch quest, you will do the most intense,
Yeah.
pumped up music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk
But
about the
we
one
have to
quest
talk
that
about-
everyone hates.
Yeah. Huh? The
Go
one
on.
that everyone hates.
What's that one?
Oh, the one finding all
where
the
you
scientists.
have to find 8
Oh,
people.
I forgot.
Oh god, that was hard.
Yes.
It was hard
It
because
was.
not only did you have to find people, there are fake people that don't need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
took a
one.
while.
That one was bad. But there was also. I mean,
We
this
were
is
rewarded
the
with my
cutscene.
favorite scene in the whole
Well,
expansion.
we didn't set this up in the first part. We probably should have. But Urianger, when we're traveling to Thavnir, Urianger doesn't want to go to. He's apprehensive about going to that lab where they research etherology or whatever, because Monbrida's parents work there, and he hasn't spoken to them since she died. He only sent like a letter.
Yeah.
So he doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
That's just
Urianger.
his personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after you've gathered all the scientists and shit, that's when they come in and they have this moment.
This caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
I did
all the
not
silly
expect
nonsense
this.
we'd been doing. This was a massive like mood shift.
Yes.
And this is the first time that I cried at this
Yeah.
story because I was it
Yeah.
caught me. I was so not expecting this at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This was the best. This was the absolute peak
Yeah. This
of
was
any
good.
cutscene in this expansion. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was so well deserved. Urianger, everyone laughs at him. Everyone says stupid Urianger with his stupid Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
Bully him all the time.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He's a sad guy.
Yeah.
And he finally got something. He got a big hug.
And the hug
Aw.
looked real. Like there's a lot of they've tried a lot of things
And
with
his
the engine.
awkward arms where he wasn't sure what to do. Which
Yeah,
was perfect for him,
yeah.
But he gave into it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
very
such
nice.
a good scene.
Only members of this family get the hug.
Mm.
Breda does it when she first meets Urianger as
Right.
well, remember?
Yeah. True.
Oh,
Why don't I get a hug? I like Moonbreeda too.
you don't deserve a hug, Rollo.
Don't steal this moment from Urianger, Rollo. How dare you?
I want to be included.
Please hug me too. It ruins
Rollo's the
whole
kind
moment.
of person who like crouches under the arms and squeezes in between.
I'm part of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was very nice. And also like sort of the end of the Monbrida arc for Urianger. It kind of finished off
yeah.
there.
He cried as
closure
well.
needed.
Yeah. Okay. Time to look at Fortunaut's rocket. We go.
It's not red.
It is not red. It is white. It is
It's
a
a
white
white
rocket.
It is.
And oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. You can tell Yoshi P had been on binging Gundam or something. What the hell was this stupid
no,
sci-fi rocket coming out of
listen,
nowhere?
it's from Macross. How dare you?
Okay.
It's a teeny tiny boat.
It's a teeny tiny boat.
toy boat.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
teeny tiny toy boat was funny, but god, this was way out there for this game.
We are allowed into the inner circle of Labyrinthos, and there it is, the rocket. Yeah, it is
Sci-fi ass ship.
sci-fi.
It was not to my taste within the context of this game. It really
See,
was a bit out of place for
this
me.
is a bit of a problem that I've had for a while with like some of the things in this game but I've obviously given up. I mean, we have cars and fly, everything in this, nothing in this game makes any sense anymore. There is, but I give it, I am allowing it for this because it's the last, we're finishing a story. And I felt like it was just Yoshi P going, fuck it. This is the last time we're doing like this story arc. I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. We're going to have a sci-fi boat, and there's going to be bunnies operating it, and there's going to be a pudding way. He's obsessed about pudding. That's it. And I'm okay with that because I think he's trying to reset like how, we're getting a new storyline next, so maybe he'll go back a little. Garlemald is down, so we're never gonna see, probably like big like Garlean tech shit unless they somehow bring it back, which is possible. Remember, the Senate building still stands. But yeah.
The
Anyways.
inside of it was fine when we get inside later on. It
Yeah,
was
because it
more
looks elegant.
But the outside just didn't. I mean, I accept it. It's whatever. But it was a real shocker.
Well, we
I
should love it, Mela. It is named after our server.
It just gives us more pride in Ragnarok being the #1 server.
I love it. It's like, let's dedicate it to Louis Soir, who saved us from Dalamud. Let's call it the Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what because I'm like, oh, they're gonna name it the Louis Soir, and I'm like, oh, how nice. Ragnarok. Okay. Okay.
They named it after a type of Allegan ship. It's weird, right? It'd be like
because Louis Soir famously a big fan of Allag.
They named it after the end of the world in Norse mythology.
Yes. Yeah. It's obviously an FF8 reference, but the reference doesn't stick because that is what the ships that the Allegans built were called. The Ragnarok class.
Red ones.
It would be like if you just named a ship the Agrius, like after the Garlean class. It'd be like, okay.
Anyway, so we fix the ship.
Yes.
And then they're like, okay, take us to Heidelin.
Yeah.
And then we get to go to this.
Because we know that they can commune with
They've got a hole in the entire planet.
They do.
That just reaches right down into
that's also what the anti-tower was, remember? They literally did
yeah,
that
but
as
I
well.
feel like that was a little bit more controlled in some respects. It was out there, out of the way.
Yeah,
no one was
true.
there. This is under their city.
Yeah, but that's why they built. They sort of touch on that they built the anti-tower far away, conveniently, and then when they figured out it's pretty safe, more convenient to have it at home though.
Yeah,
so they built their own at home.
Well, the anti-tower was also built there because it was naturally closer.
Yeah,
to,
that too.
Like,
there was like this
so
crust
like
was thin.
once they knew that, they're like, okay, we can make this work.
Yeah.
You just gotta dig. I talked about this, by the way. I did talk.
You
about
did.
This
I was hoping so much though that it was gonna be like full on anti-tower, that you would be a HUD like get that full black and white moment. But I'll give it to you still though, Rollo.
Yeah, I got the half.
Yeah,
you got
the
point.
half. Yeah. Okay, so this dungeon.
New dungeon.
This is a great dungeon.
It's a good dungeon. It's weird, but it's a good dungeon.
It's another everyone is here moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was
retarting. You miss retarting.
Well, I mean, come on. Like
he looks cool dead. Like he had like 2 massive shields.
I didn't pay attention to his name at first. I thought it was Grimwald.
Oh.
Oh, him again?
I liked his mechanic where he would form the 2 walls, and then you had to pay attention to whichever like rock lost its health fast enough so that you could hide from his attack.
It was mechanically interesting. Well, I liked the little pockets of good people that we've met along the way as well.
Yeah.
So for the first one you meet, because it's Tsumsamati that he helps you
I
out
thought
with
it was Louis
Gilbert.
at first.
Yeah, I was like, is it Louis Soir or was
but it's
it
Papa Limo. They
Papa
say
Limo.
it.
Papa Limo.
Yeah, they say it.
Okay.
Because it's broken.
Okay.
I guess that's the clue. That it's the broken.
See, here's the thing. This is the most disappointing thing about the idea scope is they could never have included Louis Soir because coil is not necessary. Because coil is not required.
I know. He is only ever like referenced, but never like shown or like they can't because you would have to have done coil.
But everyone else was there.
Everyone else was there. Yes, and Papa Limo he was mentioned multiple times, and that made me happy.
I was happy for it. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
You can take off the towel off his face now.
Oh, I can. Yes.
They
okay.
remembered.
Yeah.
So yeah, Papa Lemo, Horshafont,
yeah,
Monbreda,
Monbreda,
finally
Minfilia.
Minfilia.
Monbreda was the axe, wasn't
boss.
she?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. There's also the first 2
I
bosses.
I couldn't remember her having an axe, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's.
Yeah, no, she had
I
an
couldn't
axe.
remember.
She had this weird looking axe. The 2 first bosses are like meme bosses. Felt like it's
I thought it was just so funny.
Yeah,
they really brought one last time.
Yeah,
Rattadan's revenge.
Yeah,
he deserved it.
Yeah.
And then Livia.
Yeah. It's like, this is bizarre. But the last boss, of course, is My name.
On.
Yeah, Amon. Sorry, Amon.
Right. Yeah, Fan Daniel Amon, the
Daniel.
one we've just defeated when he was inside Zodiac, is back again.
Yeah.
For the final time.
Yeah.
One last time, he's like, I may have died, but I'm here yet again to cause a bit more of a ruckus for you.
Mm-hmm.
God.
But yeah, Shiva saves. Azel saves us.
Yes.
From
Oh
Kurt Mara.
yeah.
She
His
does.
I was
Zael.
so happy when I was like, they didn't forget you.
No.
No.
All 5 of these people were foreshadowed earlier in the story when we were flashing back to the people we lost.
Yeah.
So I was happy that they all reappeared.
Yeah.
They didn't just do Horseshoe that.
No,
I'm so pissed off.
that would have been annoying.
If,
I mean, I like Horsefront, but I would have been annoyed if he was the only person, only
But
dead
that's what they
person
did for
that
such a
appeared in
long
this dungeon.
time.
Yeah.
Like, with Shadowbringers, like you'll do quotes from him, and
Yeah.
you'll make it's like he's.
Because Horsefront is the one that we're close to. We were never as close to Papalimo or Moonbreeder, but because we have other people that were close to them, it's more meaningful in this scene.
I think we were pretty
Yeah.
close to Papalimo, but that's a discussion for another time.
I think 1.0 players might have been close to Papalimo.
we were with him from. Okay, we can't have this discussion. All right. After the fight, we get.
We meet Heidelin,
yeah.
who
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, real quick.
No,
she's
no.
glowed
Yeah,
up.
there's an important moment. There's someone else that's a little pissed about what Van Daniel's been up to.
Of all people, he's fucking Asahi.
But you betrayed my beloved Xenos!
So he
I
like
don't know
condemns
about
him to
that scene.
fucking
It was weird.
hell or
I
whatever.
like
Yeah.
this scene.
He takes him to super hell.
Yeah, super hell.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, but it was really out there.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
He's like, and you better fucking hope we don't meet again. And I'm like, we're not. You're dying again.
Yes. So now, the it's time. Well, actually,
Heidelin herself.
Yeah.
And she's
Talk about how this is a stable time loop.
I mean-
After the last time we used the Crystal Tower, it established it made multiple timelines.
It's fine.
I know
I know
you
we've
like time
talked-
travel.
we've
And I
talked
know
about
it's
this.
your favorite
Yeah.
part of the
It's
game.
just, it so annoyed
I
me
know.
that like
I know.
this thing causes 2 types of time travel.
Yeah.
But this
I-
one's stable. This one, it's all closed
it's different
off.
now because it is. So that's how. Yeah.
It's a full loop,
we
Yogi,
can
but
talk
none of
about
this could have
some
happened
some other
unless.
time.
Yeah.
Basically, she does the thing again where she has to test us. So
Well,
the thing we thought might have happened where Heidelin evil, we have to kill her.
Yeah.
We don't.
I
Yeah.
never doubted her.
Well,
I was happy.
Yeah, the only thing I was worried about was remember we had the theory that
No,
we
but
might have been tempered. I think that's the only thing back in the day that we.
and so after Shadowbringers, they're like, oh, they're both primals. That's bad. We probably have to kill them both and whatever. And
oh no,
maybe Zodiac wasn't that bad. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But we do kill her, but we don't kill her in like a mean way.
Well, what's also interesting
bad.
about that whole thing is that she explains the crystal, the mother crystal.
Yeah.
For a long time, that was our only visual of Heidelin, but that's like her fucking ether battery. that's
Well,
that's where all her
she's
ether
not
is.
She doesn't use the ether from that, though.
No.
She specifically wanted it redirected to the crystal so that she wasn't being repowered
Yeah.
because she knows that her existence is not actually good for the planet.
Yes. And when she made new, or when people were introduced to her, she even explains the character creator here, or the first cutscene. She wouldn't show herself; they would just see the crystal, which it didn't need to explain that, but that's not neat that they'd mentioned that, had an explanation for it. So yeah,
They kind of bimbo-fied Heidelin, huh?
yeah, they did, but I'm fine with that.
Well, she was always she's on the A Realm Reborn artwork, isn't she? I think she's pretty similar to what she was drawn as in that, but
I
still,
believe
Yeah.
so.
yeah.
They matched the box art for the what's his face, which I liked actually.
on
I
it.
like their designs.
Yeah.
Good trial, really good trial.
Yes, very good. And also the
You
end
can
of
do it with trust.
You can do it with trust.
Yeah. Oh
that's
God,
true.
that's a big one. It's
And
a
that's
trial.
so
8-man
fucked up.
trust.
Yeah.
I assume you did this as a healer, Lakil, so you got Lithomancer Orange.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Doesn't he comment on that? He's like, I think we have too many healers.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
I tanked it and I felt so bad because I killed Yustol like 3 times in a row.
Oh no.
Oh, Rollo.
I kept dropping puddles on her and some other people. I was
I
like,
don't
"Oh,
feel
no."
bad because Alizé kept killing me.
Yeah.
I just had a good time with all my friends.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
very fun.
The coolest thing about this trial is that she closes the hear, think, feel sentences
Yes.
in the crystal phase.
Yeah.
And then again, as an extreme, this one was good. Quite hard, bit like War of Light. Good fight. I liked it. It felt weird to fight Heidelin.
It did.
I thought, well, I had a feeling we would one day fight.
Yeah.
Heidelin.
It was still, when it finally arrived, I was like, oh, okay.
It's her test. Can we
This
be
was-
strong enough to fight Meteon?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will get on that fucking moon and you will fly out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting though because they didn't reveal any trials for this expansion. So it's the first time they've like
They
just
lied
totally
to
hidden
us,
them.
Rollo. They thought
Well-
we would be fooled by Anima and the Major Sisters.
Well, the Major Sisters we called off. There was no
Yeah.
way. We
they
already
showed us
saw
as
them.
well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So we thought Animal might have been another
Yeah.
one though, and
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
They tricked us with the anima because they were so adamant on like the artwork of it and like how people from 10, the people who designed anima from 10 has been designing this one as well. I'm like, oh wow, surely they won't throw that away in a dungeon. Well, they did. They did. Yeah, so we defeat Heidelin and she just fucking she's out.
It gives us the magical crystal that will tell us where Meteon's hiding, and then she turns into dust.
Did you call her Vanar or Heidelin in her final moments?
Vanar,
Vanar.
because I thought it'd be sweet. She'd like
I
it.
don't remember what I picked now. Did
she's like, oh, so you did do the thing. Haha,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What
She,
is okay?
yeah. Go on.
No, you go first.
She dies, disappears, and that literally that's it. Yeah, go on, Georgi. You have something else to add.
I
the
was going to
story
ask, what did you think of Vanar / Heidelin's story arc as a whole? What did you think about her as a character?
I love Vanar.
Yeah, she's very nice.
It's good. I'm glad
and
it
I like-
wasn't just like, ooh, all gods are evil, actually.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm glad that Heidelin turned out to be good in the end, considering the name of this podcast. So remember, and I'm also glad that it sort of ended this endless debate on whether or not Heidelin was good or bad. And remember when
Yes.
Shadowbringers, like, they teased Shadowbringers, they're like, oh, you have to change to High Speakers of Zodiac because he's the real hero. No,
Yeah.
he
From the
wasn't.
Warrior
It was
Darkness.
Heidelin all along.
And we're never
in a
even
way-
tempered.
He was in a way good. though.
No.
They were both good for
Well,
each other.
yeah, he was
They
good
protected the planet.
because he was where he was. If he was set
Well,
loose,
he
they
was
would have been
good
fighting
because of-
again. And they would both
He
be
was
bad.
good because of Heidelin sealing him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
They should have
There was-
coexisted forever, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. I think Zodiac was chaotic neutral.
I think I don't know if I've said this before, but we killed Heidelin and Zodiac at the ideal time, once 7 shards were returned, because that means that they were at approximately the same level of strength.
Hmm.
Any more, and Zodiac would have been too strong. Any less, and Heidelin may have been too strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so we come back and we're like, well, Heidelin's dead. But
Last.
Yeah, we went to see her.
and then we killed her.
So
It's so fucked up. It's just she was the last one.
Yeah.
The last ancient, I guess.
Yeah.
it's
So-
so stupid, isn't it?
It.
Thanks for letting us see Heidelin. We've murdered her.
Yeah, and I
We'd
like
like
that.
to commandeer your rocket.
And I like that.
Just
they're-
killed God.
Yeah, the form is like, this is like our most sacred thing. Like no one can ever like be careful down there. And they're like, we're back. We killed her.
Yeah, she dead.
So she's dead. Also, we're taking. Can we play with your rocket now?
yeah, we want to go somewhere
Yeah.
We've got this crystal. Give it
Yeah.
to the rabbit people.
Yeah. So we decide to go find Meteon because now we have a means to find.
But
well,
it
actually,
would take us forever to get there.
yeah,
But luckily,
they have a solution.
we have a
because-
solution. That's crazy. Lalafell has a solution or something.
Yeah. We can use. We need a shit ton of ether, but it is difficult to put that on the ship because you
Very
need
hard to move a giant crystal.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
a very big crystal.
So their
But what do
idea.
we use crystals for?
The idea is to use living things that can carry it. And so summoning, that is essentially a leftover from the ancient world where you could create the creation magics.
Yeah, it's the creation
So
magic. But
there
I-
we go.
I
It
kind of
explains summoning as well. So now that has an
Yes.
explanation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
didn't
taught
like
the-
But all the summoning so far was a secret Asian edition, which added tempering. But it's fine now. Summon all you like.
Mela, remember that actually makes sense because in the story, that is how it's been introduced to the tribes. The
No, I
Asians have been
agree.
telling them how to summon, and they've told them.
Also,
Yeah, go on.
it all comes from how they originally summoned Zodiac. They summoned Zodiac with the purpose of being able to temper people so that they could keep to that cause.
Yes. Yeah.
That is true. No,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, Chet's right though. They did reference the 1.0
They did.
intro
They
with
did.
the fucking primals flying out.
Which up until this point, I think Koji Fox was the last to ever comment on that intro. Was just don't look at that. But he also said, I can't talk about that because that might be something we're getting back to at some point. And he wasn't wrong.
There we go.
We did. Yeah, so summoning the so the rocket takes off. By the way, because they when we first see the rocket, I'm like, kind of small. Then they say, oh, we've miniaturized it. We've used that tech. Dude, when that shit takes off from
It
the
was
distance, it is
massive.
huge.
Yeah.
It's like bigger than Charlian. Like it's massive.
Before we leave, before we move on to the final zone, Alizé and Alphino have the chance to reconcile with Fortuno as well.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's true.
They have like a bonding moment.
Is
and
that
he's
during
okay
that
with
big
their life.
cutscene? There's this huge
it was actually
cutscene.
quite
This
big.
is
Yeah.
before, but
Yeah.
there's this massive cutscene which we talked about in the first part, which gets massive if you've done. It is based
Everything.
on if you've done everything in the game, you'll meet every single person in this moment, and so you'll have a massive cutscene. Anyways, we're not going to go talk about that. We can talk about the Alizé and father, Alizé Alphino and the dad, Fortuno. They have this moment where, everything's good between them now.
Everything Fortuno has been doing was to keep them safe.
Yes.
But
All for
he
them.
knows he can't do that anymore
Mhm.
because they're their own people and they have their own goals.
Yes.
But he still worries, and he gives them the Louis Soir hug,
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
and it's cool.
And Amelia is secretly funding the Silence.
Oh yeah, that
this
too.
whole time.
Yeah, that too. That
Yeah.
too. Okay, so
Siphoning his money. I mean, I don't know how much money of this was hers. She married into this family.
true.
Emptying the liver coffers.
All right, we're off.
Yeah,
and so
we
that's the ship,
summon all of them,
Yeah,
but
there's
only
this
two have lines.
huge
Susanoo and
explosion.
Garuda.
which is the reference to the 1.0 trailer where you see the explosion as Agrias crashes and Titan and Ifrit and Garuda comes out. And they do have this little banter between Susanoo and Garuda.
And Susanoo is an absolute lad as always. Great guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
He's
is.
like he's just there for a good time. He's
Yeah.
about to sacrifice himself.
And
Because
Garuda's
She's kind
being
of
all
lukewarm on this. whole-
whiny.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't have that pride, you know.
Mm.
I love
Okay,
him. He's funny.
so now we're off. Also, never mind. We've taken off. We've left. We're in space. We're traveling.
Going to the edge of the universe to find Meteon.
Yeah.
And we make it.
And then on their scanners they're like, "There's nothing here."
Captain.
And then it all goes crazy.
Then there's
Turns into like Alien.
yeah. it becomes
ship starts
alien.
breaking,
Their systems start
and
breaking
Meteor
down.
appears on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Goodbye, oxygen."
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah,
died.
she's like, you guys are
Well,
gonna
it
die.
wasn't necessarily goodbye oxygen. It was like, I will unmake you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awful. She's horrible.
And then Thancred does the thing, and I'm like, there he goes. There goes my boy. But
It's fucking unmade.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrific.
Yeah.
Rip Thancred.
But he saved us by doing that.
He
technically.
doesn't get unmade. He transfers his dynamis to make the place livable for
Yes,
us.
that's what he does. Yeah. So we arrive at Ultima Thule. We wake up.
Mhm.
Thancred's not there. Walk outside. Ultima Thule.
Wow.
Breathe.
We start looking for Thancred, by the way, because we're like, where'd he go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Okay. So here.
What a zone.
Yeah. The music
I
here
can tell you
is-
right now,
Yeah.
not one person has any right to claim that they could have seen this zone coming.
No.
because
No.
No.
There's no black
No.
and white moment for anyone here. This was unexpected. And the music is very discordant and weird when you first arrive here. It's like I'm like, oh my god, I can't think.
I will
My
say
brain.
one thing about Ultima Thule: it's very dark.
Yes,
Super
it is
dark.
very dark.
depressing.
But the
honestly.
sky is
Especially near the
beautiful.
dragons.
Looking up is amazing. What did you say,
Ah.
Rollo?
I was thinking, especially the dragons, it's extremely
Oh, yeah.
dark. The other,
Yeah.
the other two parts are a little bit brighter, but
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Were you excited for the return of the dragons, Rollo? I know how much you love dragons.
I wanted the first thing you see, I'm like, fucking dragons! Jesus!
No, but I liked that because you saw the dragons and then you could sort of see the green fire stuff coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
And you could think in your mind that
I
reminds
knew.
me of
I knew it
Omega.
was mid. I
Yeah.
knew.
It's the dragon's homeworld.
Yeah, I knew it was mid.
I was satisfied though
Well,
with how they handled it.
A recreation of it.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
recreation
yeah.
of it.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So they're all very depressed and sad. The
sad dragons waiting for death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the eggs hatch, stillborn, and you gotta.
A horrible place, really. Really
yeah,
horrible.
it's
Yes.
awful.
Yeah.
You start seeing some little Omega bits too, which is neat.
Mhm.
Little
Yes. So
Omega like playing.
yes,
Yeah.
we've arrived on this shard of the old dragon star
Mhm.
after they lost to the robots,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, life sucks. Let's just wait until we die now."
Yeah.
We've got to solve their depression.
So yeah, essentially that's our mission: solve their depression to get because our way forward is blocked. There is no way out of here. So we have to find. We also find this like really sad, like there's like hatchery or whatever where there's these eggs that are just they've died. We have to find I guess is it some sort of leader or someone with a lot of.
It's the main depressed. It's like the
main
most
depressed.
depressed dragon.
Yeah.
From where the despair originates, essentially.
Yeah.
And we overcome it. We don't need to go into super detail about them all, but we overcome it.
Yeah.
We lose some more of our friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
We lose-
At
And
this
they
point,
create the
though,
path.
they're like, "Oh, all right, they're probably not dead."
Yeah.
We still have the Azem's crystal, by the way, which Hydeland blessed with creation magic
Yeah.
before. So
What
we have
else do they
that.
summon our friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yisha's like, "Don't do that. If
Well,
it
she
comes
says
to
that
it,
later.
Yeah.
don't summon us."
So who's the first to go
Uh,
here? Is that
Estinian.
Estinian goes here?
Yeah, because he's the dragon boy. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then we
go
go
up to a new place which is made of sand, and
Yeah.
it's
the
it's
EA,
got
the EA,
the ear.
yeah.
The yeah.
They're smart for their own good.
Who has this massive existential dread, which I could not stop thinking about Mela. This was Mela.
I
all
know.
of the, all
I
of them.
thought that as well. It's a race of mailers.
Yeah.
These were me.
Nothing matters. Why even try?
Yeah, they were. They were
They had transcended corporeal forms. Essentially, they were just blob people.
And
So-
now, because they transcended corporeal form, they couldn't end their lives. So now they're trying to find a way to return to corporeal form so they can properly die.
Yeah, yeah, because they had figured out that the world,
Life is meaningless.
that essentially
The heat death of the universe.
the heat
yeah.
death of the
Yes.
universe. They had figured that out, and yeah, they were
Like,
struggling with
okay.
that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect that
and
to
we
be a
sub-
major thing.
No.
He
That was
did.
No.
random.
And then it
Well, the
gets
thing
solved
is-
by Y'shtola saying, "No, I reject
don't
your
care."
conclusion."
Well, they are immortal, so they will have to suffer waiting until then, and then
Yeah.
they will eventually fail and stop being able to move. Y'shtola won't.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so she uses that to cancel out the
Yeah.
despair, and for some reason, Ariante goes along with her.
Yeah, because
They've got
yeah,
to join forces because it's mega despair,
it's
Gyoki.
mega despair.
Maybe there's a way around the heat death too. You never know. This is a magic world. This is our world. All right.
True.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Okay, and then the last
and then we go
world-
to base Omicron. Oh my god.
base Omicron.
These guys are awesome.
We meet the Omega race, the robots, and they
The terrain here is annoying.
It's very hard to navigate. You
Yeah.
get stuck on a lot.
but it is
their
flat, so you can
problem-
literally see every ether current the moment you get there. They're very easy to spot, but yeah, it's annoying.
They went to everyone and wanted to become the strongest, and there's no one left for them to conquer. Basically, they can't improve.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck. They've got no prime directive from their eyeball god.
Right.
Most of them don't care. It's only
Right.
one of
That's
them.
true.
Yeah.
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 So we solve their problems. We freeze the eyeball.
Yeah.
Graha Tia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grahatia.
So now it's
Uh,
only us and twins left.
Yeah.
And we are we've been
I love
granted
this escort scene.
access. Yes, this is. Well, there's another scene after this that's pretty big, but yeah, you can go and you can talk to them.
You walk
in
all the
certain
way up and
points.
you see there's all the points you can stop and touch, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics kick in at this point as well. After
Yes.
Graha sacrifices himself.
True.
This is when it gets
We
real.
get up to what is that last?
Middle.
The
Journey's End
The
something. or other?
necropolis.
necropolis.
The necropolis, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just this like abandoned little
McDonald's.
looks like
kind
a
of.
McDonald's. Looks
McDonald's.
like it looks like a little town square, tiny
Little town square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a pub.
Yeah.
Medion's like, hey, losers, I told you can't do it. There's no one here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can look. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you look, and then it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Turns out-
hers is the despair we've got to overcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's you,
It's a
isn't
trick.
it?
Yeah.
You can tell the twins when Alphino suggests they sacrifice themselves. You can say to them, "I promised I'd keep you safe."
But they go through with it no matter what. It's
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah.
It was so sad. It was just you all alone.
Yeah.
This is when the game
This is
got good.
when you're actually
Mm.
end walking.
You end walk.
Yeah, hey, you have the buff Endwalker too. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
cute.
This fit was wildly good, and you just walk,
Yeah.
and it's got all these
Mhm.
shadows of people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's
will say-
here
Yeah.
again.
So
Yeah.
that staircase does not appear until after the twins sacrifice themselves. You can see people walking up nothing if you
that's
go to
bad.
that part of the
Oh
area.
shit. Oh,
That's
that's funny.
That's bad.
Yeah, no, that's probably a moment that it will stick with me for this expansion. There's always those moments in certain expansions that you'll never forget. This is probably one of those
Yeah.
for me.
This was the last part where I was trying to think of Yoshi P saying, "You will go that far." I thought, he's killed off all the Scions. Maybe this is like a hard reset. I didn't think it that much because you know what this game's like, but I thought maybe that
Yeah.
could be the thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't accept that, considering how Thancred goes out. He doesn't even get like a proper departure. I was
That's
like,
true.
they're not gone.
Yeah.
It was the last chance Yoshi P had for that quote.
Yeah, yeah. So we get to the top, and we get to this. Well, it is dead when we arrive, but then
This is Journey's End, isn't it?
yeah, this is Journey's End. And we, well, I don't remember exactly what led up to.
We
the,
use Zem's crystal to generate the Elpis
yeah,
flowers
which is
everywhere.
like almost like an 8
Well,
reference.
no. we use Azem's crystal to bring back Emet-Selch and Hitler.
Yes, Hitler Deus.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah. And they make the flowers appear and meet
Yeah.
you. It's like, wow, mega sad. I'll go
Yeah.
inside my egg now.
Well, because she's like, she can't accept that we are able to create hope in a place like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Because
though surely
if
that
there
would be
wasn't-
good for her.
Well, yeah, but she can't accept that. Because if there was no hope, the Elpis flowers would have died immediately, like they did
But there is
when we
hope.
brought it out at the end days.
Yeah.
So she can finally return to Hermes and say, "Oh no, there are pockets of hope out there. It's not all for nothing."
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't.
It's
No.
so funny they
Emmett's
brought back Emmett. Like I did. They not only because we talked about this too. Like we don't want them to bring back Emet-Selch because it's gonna suck. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like bad fan service.
Yeah.
And they did it, and it was not bad fan service.
It was great.
No.
I mean, it wasn't even fan service. It hit the plot.
Yeah,
It
I
was
didn't even
necessary.
think about, that at all, that they brought him back. It didn't, no, at no point did I think that. So, yeah, they did it well.
Emet-Selch tells us, yeah, it's safe to summon back your friends now.
Yes. And so we
Yeah,
do.
and
And
Before
they
he leaves,
fade away.
That's it.
before he leaves, it's like,
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah, he does the thing at the end.
let me tease some future expansions.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
got
the
the-
things you'll see.
Yeah.
Mericidia, the
Yeah.
north of Othard,
Yeah.
Airslant, I think maybe, the New World, and all the other
The treasure
shit.
said
beneath
the
the
treasure
bounty.
Yeah, the bounty.
Oh yeah, there's loads of things.
Yeah.
There's a couple moments where like it feels like the characters are just talking to like the player. you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Where it's
There's the
like-
whole. There's the line where Hitler Deus is like, "Wow, this is a great story, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time for us to
No.
exit stage.
Yeah.
He's like, what? You guys are
This
gonna
is-
stay? And he's like, no, I don't want to stay alive with her fucking magic. Bye.
No.
Since this is the end of Emet-Selch and Hitler Deus, what did you think of them and their arcs in this expansion?
I think they were probably up there
Mm-hmm.
because you could tell deep down Emmett had a little bit of a soft spot for us, but he didn't want to show it.
Yeah.
And Hitler Deus was so lovely to have around. He was so jolly, and I don't know, they like bounced off each other so well. They were a good duo,
Yeah.
and Vinar was lovely. So it's nice having all three around.
Yeah.
I miss them.
I like all the ancients a lot. They're all
Mhm.
well. I'll say Hermes is the most tragic one. I feel like 'cause I think I can definitely empathize with what he was thinking and why he did all that he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did him good. They didn't make it cringy fan service or like this is a thing you like. See, it's here again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Hitler Deus and us and Azem must have rubbed off on Emet-Selch at some point because he becomes much more theatrical than his sulky self from the
That's
Unsunded
true.
world
True.
when he becomes Solace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless
No,
him.
it was nice.
Still killed a lot of people though. Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed a lot of dudes.
But he can't.
Well, he
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for the
He
help.
accepts
I
that.
like you, but
and he sort of understands that that's what he did once he was brought to that level of despair.
Yeah.
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 I thought that was he's nice. He
Yeah.
didn't do nothing.
So we bring back our friends. The final battle.
Final fight of
is
the
at
whole
hand.
expansion.
Yeah.
We'll find a dungeon first.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh
There's
god, yeah, we have
there's
to do the
this-
dead ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead ends. Which is a very pretty world. Albeit very
Well-
it's a dungeon.
It's you go through you go through Fishland, Warland, and Beautiful Land.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry.
Skin
I'm
Namazu.
only remembering
Yeah,
the
never
last
seen-
part. I forgot about the horrible
When
other
you said
worlds we go through.
beautiful, I was thinking,
sorry.
yeah. The
sorry.
first one is some fish people who
literally just
um,
fucking death and despair.
they've
in the first
died
they
one.
live-
lived
from disease.
they lived in the water and came onto the land and then poisoned their source of water.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were their own undoing
Yeah.
through
Mhm.
pollution. The second one was the war people.
Oh yeah.
The bit at the end
Second
where
one-
he says, "Ha ha ha! I killed them all."
Yeah.
Oh, I killed them all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
guy's
killed-
fun. It's terrifying to me.
Yeah,
'cause it's
Yeah.
the most real.
Yeah.
That was super
It
real.
is. Was a bit
Blew it up.
real.
And the last one's literally there's two. Right, so Pagelfan dungeon you remember the Field of Gold,
Yeah.
and now this dungeon,
Yeah.
they can do vibrant, beautiful zones
They can. Yeah.
in dungeons.
Very beautiful world. Tragic people that are dying. They've
Choosing to
essentially,
die.
yeah, they made this final boss to kill them.
Amun Ra.
Yeah.
Essentially, I mean, what the hell was he?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
a-
know
Rala,
about
isn't
him.
it?
The
Yeah,
most
yeah, I
benevolent
can't remember.
creature ever was his name, or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Rala, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about him as the final dungeon boss of an expansion. The mechanics were good.
I
but
agree.
Yeah, it was a bit
he's
weird.
just some Egyptian god.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like the Amarat was just one of the Final Days things. Like,
Yeah.
the slot machine, it's definitely kind of like
We're
I
just
guess.
seeing sort of the death of 3 different worlds and what
Yeah.
killed them. I guess so.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess.
I think the Peacekeeper's a pretty good boss. The Peacekeeper is probably my favorite boss of these 3 mechanically.
Okay.
the animations too are really good for
Peacekeeper
like the
was quite
little
good.
Yeah.
like the little soldier dudes. Like they just I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I've never seen like gun shooting animations like this in this game
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
second section has a bunch of models from 13.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Hmm.
The big fish guy wasn't that good,
Nah.
and the last boss
No.
was.
Well, the thing is, the big fish boss is a reskinned boogeyman.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So the as that ends, we meet the end singer.
Meteon has turned into just a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
there's
said
the
before,
one part
a
of
final
the-
Kirby
the-
boss.
Mm.
The Meteon that we met has sort of returned from her despair and is
Yeah.
trying to stop her, but we need to help.
Yeah. So this is straight into a new. Well, there's a twist here, I guess.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh,
I knew some
Buff-
people would be annoyed at this, and I hope they will.
well, first we send all our friends back to the ship with that button.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
we're getting our ship pushed in. All right, well, you guys go back. I'll take care of it. We don't take care of it.
No.
No.
Not by ourselves.
No.
No.
Oh my god, it's Midgard Sorma breaking in Omega.
Oh
What's
my
happening here?
god.
But no, it's Xenos has
Yeah.
turned into
Yeah.
It's gotta
I
be the
love that.
stupidest thing.
I
Ever.
loved that Xenos
Dude,
is the
this
one that
was-
saved us.
This
Yeah, I
was
liked
great.
it too.
And I love how he's like, how is this thing still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why haven't you killed it yet?
Yeah.
You suck. I'll kill it if I have. It's like, oh, it's
No,
so
it's
funny.
not that he doesn't say that we suck. He's like, I expect better from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh my god.
So
Xenos is the worst character in the game, and he just appears right at the last moment and ruins all the music as well for the last boss.
Well, they tease it. They're like, oh, someone's going to go help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Someone was walking up the stairs. A friend of ours.
Oh,
they call it.
Well,
And
yeah.
then to meet
You could hear
Cryle.
his heavier footfalls.
it
It was
is-
not even subtle.
can I also say it's quite funny because throughout Shadowbringers, that was our main complaint: is that Xenos just appears at random for short moments of time, and we're like, obviously, Endwalker, he's gonna be. No, he did the same fucking thing, except this time he's like,
Well,
I mean, I'm interrupting here. Actually, there's a point in the MSQ we didn't talk about where we see him walking. I don't even know where he is. It doesn't matter. But he's turned into this like reddish looking version of him that we see
Yeah.
later again. Rollo, do you have anything to add?
Oh, I was just saying that we do see some scenes of him like considering what Alize said of like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
you
yeah.
shouldn't
That's
be
when
doing
he's.
it like this.
That's when
Yeah.
he's like fused with his familiar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he arrives, and now we're gonna fight the end singer on Xenos' dragon back.
Why not?
Shinryu's back.
Shinryu.
This song is great because it's a
It's
remake.
so good.
It's a mashup of Shinryu's theme, Hades' theme, Thornton's theme, and the Ultima theme.
Yeah.
It was an alright song. It was a little. I don't know. It was a little
Chaotic.
chaotic. Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
like it?
I
but
didn't
it had-
I
dislike
really
it.
like this song.
I like
I
it.
liked it enough, but
but-
it felt a little bit like old music in some respects.
Oh,
mean, that's what
Because
was
it was,
yeah.
Yeah.
but it just
Yeah.
felt like, oh, it's this song again for the final fight of the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the second phase mostly that has like the
Mhm.
callback
Yeah.
songs because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that is like torn from the heavens,
Mhm.
the heavens word theme and some other. It's crazy. It's great though. I really like it. It's like for the last time, everyone's here
Yeah.
again, but the songs.
Thematically, I suppose it fits.
Yeah.
The first phase song is great. Well, the first phase of the fight, sorry, is great.
The
I love
first
the
phase
planets
of the fight
smashing
is
together.
Mm.
pretty much the only bit that's difficult.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Interesting.
Well, the second phase is very short.
The Heart of Sabik.
Yeah, that one did confuse me though, but I guess because it's a Realm Reborn song. I mean, I guess they have Torn from the Heavens too, but whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I think it's referencing the fight in the Praetorium. For
Yeah,
that.
possibly. Yeah. Okay. So the fight. Yeah, the fight is.
It's pretty
A lot.
cool. It has like she summons whole planets and they crash.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
like
really
that
hard to
mechanic
figure
and
it
like
out
rewinding
until...
it and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
Once
pretty
you
cool.
figure it out, though, it's
Yeah,
fun
once you
to
figure
watch
it out,
everyone
it's
else
alright.
die.
I can't wait for the extreme though of this. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd be surprised at because I don't know. It feels hard to make it into an extreme though because the last phase doesn't have any mechanics.
Well,
I mean,
that's the
that-
phase that will
they
probably
did that with
change.
Hades
Mel.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's true actually. Yeah, you're right with the cauldron thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and then in the middle of the fight, after the second phase transition, it's like, oh no, the power of friendship. Yeah,
Oh, God.
everyone's praying. They're sending you their power.
Mm-hmm.
They're sending you
Friendship.
their dynamis.
Specifically, the Y'shtola and Thancred prayer callbacks to the 2.0 cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was.
I loved
And
it. I think it
The
was great.
reveal that the limit break is Dynamis.
Yep. Yep.
That is cute.
That is. Yep. Okay, so we defeat End Singer. And you'd think, okay, well that's the fight done. Well,
No, what
forgot
are you,
about.
What are you talking
Finally,
about?
we
Forgot-
can have our final battle.
Forgot about who you're
First-
fighting on. Yeah.
First, she's like, thank you. Now I can sing a nice song. I'll take you back to your friends. And then we're about to leave.
Yeah.
And then he appears.
I love this scene so much.
I do too.
I think it's so good because in general, I think the Xenos haters are very pleased, and the Xenos lovers were very pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah.
Because he'll ask you, like, "Oh, okay, so don't you want to come get me now?" Like what? And you have like I think 3 responses, and first off, he'll call you out and be like, I know you're fighting for the thrill of it and for the challenge. Even if you feign like, oh, I just want to beat you because I'm the hero. He's like, you can play hero all you want.
Yeah.
I know why you're here.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a talking to the player kind of moment,
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
like
yeah.
your
Yeah.
actual character.
Yeah.
What did
Um,
you pick? What was your response?
First time I picked was like, okay, I'm here for the challenge. You got me.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
said.
what I
I
said
said
too.
that I cannot deny.
Yeah. I
You
said
do
that
like
too.
a really sly grin. too.
Yeah.
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 The other 2 though, if you pick them, it's you do have facial expressions where it's like you get like a really pissed off one if you say like, "Oh, it ends here,"
Okay.
and he'll say like, "Oh, finally, I have your attention."
Okay. I see.
And then the second one where if you pretend to like, I just have to beat you because I'm the hero. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, hero, whatever."
This was a good fight actually as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love an extreme version of this fight, like a solo extreme or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something akin to the Bosja.
Yeah, the solo, like the
duels.
jewels. Yeah,
I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
that would work well. It is a really.
It
'Cause
is quite
it's-
fun.
It's one of those fights where it's like, if you get hit by a mechanic, you pretty much have lost.
Yeah.
But just dodge the mechanics and you'll be fine. Yeah, it would. It would be
not
very.
not
nice.
if you're a healer.
No, that's true. Maybe
True.
healers would need some sort of nerf during an extreme version, but
It's definitely a victory lap fight though, so it's like.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it just
It's-
felt good.
Um,
And
Yeah.
and what a
It's
nice
like-
arena.
Yeah.
It's like the Laha Brea fight in Praetorium, except it's actually good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I just say at this point, because prior to the Xenos fight, when Meteon says now she can sing a song of peace, I would have killed her on the spot at this point just to ensure
What
nothing
the
happens.
fuck is wrong with you? What?
She's
to reverse all the damage she did to the universe.
She even had
She doesn't
those,
deserve
like,
the chance. She doesn't deserve the chance. Just
Oh my
get rid
God.
of her.
Oh my
at this
god!
So
We-
you're
No
Let's
mercy.
finish this other thing, and then I kind of want to talk about Meteon as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. So we are okay. So Xenos dead.
get the
We
shit
knock away-
beat out of him.
Our weapons get knocked away, and we fucking punch the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I think that
and
was
we,
so
we fall
cathartic
down
too.
Yeah.
in like a big sweaty tumble, and then we just start kissing. I love that scene.
That was great.
You only get the New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I think
okay.
that was great though. It's like, oh fuck it. Let's
No, it
just-
was good.
let's go.
It was like a cathartic, like just
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
even though we would have been absolutely tired after the Endsinger fight.
Well,
we
no,
still gave it one.
we're just so full of dynamis. We can do
Yeah.
whatever we want.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you even have extra lives.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
honestly we're at
That's how strong we
Dynamax.
are.
Yeah. Okay, so we kind of pass out, and apparently we're pretty in a bad shape. We wake up.
Very end of Evangelion-esque, where you're just kind of laying on the beach
Yeah,
with the like, just passed out.
and they've brought us
Well,
back,
The,
and the credits
the
roll.
teleport button just appears out of nowhere,
Yeah,
Who brought us
It
taking
back?
us back to the ship.
yeah.
It was Xenos.
No, it was not Xenos.
Yeah. The credits start rolling at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
Alizé gets mad at us for going off by ourselves.
Yeah.
That was
And,
cute.
like,
Everyone
well,
was.
I wanted to say to her, you fucking sacrifice yourself first. You don't get to be angry at me.
True.
No, it's fair. It was. Yeah, I liked the ending.
Yeah.
And then the post-credit stuff, where everyone's like deciding their next steps. This was that ultra cozy feeling I get in 14.
But that was something that we had talked about, that the Scions would be, because they trick you at first. Because it starts with Alphinaud writing a letter, and he says the Scions of the Seventh Dawn is like disbanding. And I'm like, oh my god,
But
that's what we've been
that's
talking
trick.
about. And I'm like, oh no, this is so sad. And it's like, oh, that's what the official story is going to be like. I'm like, oh, you
But it
fuck,
kind of, in
you
a way, is.
fuckers. Yeah, I mean, yes, but also no. It's just very
We'll get back together
secret.
soon.
Yeah.
I guess it's an opportunity to have some new pals that aren't just the Scions.
And they also tell us where they're going, which might hint at future stories. Like,
And you can find them all.
yeah,
I very much think that we're going to get a patch per, like, wherever the Scions have gone for
Yeah.
the rest of
I think so too.
Endwalker.
I think so
Could
too.
be. But that was the best. The Scions were coolest in like a Realm Reborn
Mm-hmm.
when they were this secret organization in the shadows. And now we've become such a public figure. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's nice to go back.
And then at the end, we sort of just say laters and we split up. Well, they actually go like, "Oh, we've all talked about what we're doing. What are you doing?" They're like looking at you,
and then your
like,
character just goes.
Um,
So they just, whatever you want.
yeah,
And then we see Meteon as a bird fly off into the sky.
Yes.
And Mela
And
wants
it says
to
Finn.
grab and crush it.
What?
Yeah.
It's like whatever. If she stays as a little bird and does nothing, I don't care.
She just wants to. She's singing nice songs now.
Yeah.
She wants to fix the universe that she fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she did do a lot of damage. Let's not forget that.
See how she can reverse it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll give her. A
Otherwise, there's no chance at all.
Mm.
No one else can manipulate Dynamis as well as she can.
There is another post credit scene that teases Pandemonium as well. Should we
Oh
mention
yeah,
that?
with
But-
Elidibus
Yeah.
looking down.
Which I didn't expect that at all. I thought that would have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
Kind of, or just in the patch. Like,
yeah.
Didn't it
trailers
talk
on
about
the-
the 12 as well?
The 12, yeah, that was Emmett.
Well,
Selk?
Emmett Selk teases
Yeah.
the 12. He says, you don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
thought I said at the end bit as well, but maybe not.
No.
That's
Oh,
cool.
And that's Endwalker.
Pandemonium's in the past.
how'd you like it?
Yeah. Overall thoughts now on Endwalker.
I think it's the best expansion.
I think
Yeah.
it is. The
Shadowbringers,
best
I
expansion.
think, is a better. I think Shadowbringers is a better standalone story, but it has the ability to do so. Whereas Endwalker has a lot of expectations of actually wrapping up the storyline. It can't do a fully standalone story. It has all these plot threads that it has to address from all the previous stories that have existed in this game.
Yeah.
I would
Obviously.
sort of agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Shadowbringers probably was it's a better story, but maybe not as good a world because the first was like too separate. I think this did a decent job of wrapping up most plot points. There were some things I felt a little bit left out on, like Azem. We never really found out the truth there. I think there were some things that felt a little bit too made up just for the sake of wrapping things up, like the Akasha and Dynamis thing, and 100% Meteon. I don't like that the final days ended up just being a little child bird singing on the edge of the universe rather than being something a little bit more. But I can put that aside as it's a nice wrap up overall, and I'm just glad we can move on from this 10-year story.
Also, remember, we are now obviously judging just the first, like the expansion. We still have yet to see what the Point X patches have to like add to this. But yeah, I think it was it's almost an impossible task to wrap up all of the shit that's been added over the years. Remember, some of the plot points they didn't even really start with 1.0 stuff that they had to like deal with. So they had to make some shit up for stuff to make sense, and I understand that because what they made up in A Realm Reborn wasn't necessarily something they ever expected to have to wrap up at any point. But I do agree that there was some parts of it that felt like okay, like Hydaelyn and Zodiark are the main like story, right? We even called it the Hydaelyn and Zodiark arc. Yet they kind of just destroy Zodiark as if it's nothing really, and it's gone. It causes a lot of other issues because of something they've made up in the expansion.
He was already kind of dead, and because we killed his heart.
Yeah, because Elidibus doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. This all ties into that. That's true, but still, there's just that's the only thing that I really have. I have nothing else bad to say about this expansion. It's definitely my favorite expansion of all time.
My question would be, how would you have made Zodiac a bigger threat at this point?
I don't know.
It does not have a heart.
I don't know.
We were all afraid that Zodiac was going to jump
Georgi,
in there.
They could have just made
that was the plan,
just like they do with all things. They could have made something up.
I know. I'm just asking you what you could.
I don't know. I have no
idea.
idea.
They could have done.
I have no idea. I don't know how they would have done that. That's why I was surprised that we were, because there was no lead up to build up for Zodiark to be a main boss before Endwalker. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, it's weird how we're gonna do that now, but yeah, I think they did a good job. But I agree with what Mela said, that there's some things that felt like too conveniently invented.
I'm not saying that you do better. But I'm also saying I think at this point in the story, Zodiark was set up in such a way that I found it difficult to find him to be the final threat.
Yeah.
He was neutered a while ago. So
he was sort of built up as it, but I think though, because some people say this would have been better as 2 expansions. In some respects, I think there were some maybe slightly rushed parts, but I can't imagine a whole expansion being devoted to that Meteon side of things.
No.
So I'd rather they just wrap it up in one, and maybe slightly. Some things were introduced maybe too quickly,
which is weird considering how long the MSQ is.
Yeah,
but
I would say they probably could have made an expansion with a lot of They would have had to make up a bunch more story, but they probably could have made an expansion of the story up through Garlemald, ending on the moon and Zodiac.
Yeah, yeah,
for sure.
But he doesn't like to, do what you expect.
no,
So he definitely subverted your expectations by having you kill Zodiac the first trial. And
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Hydrant
true.
as well.
And-
And essentially almost Hermes being the true villain,
yeah,
sort of.
kind of, yeah,
Which I think.
Yeah, he's the villain, but he's not like he's a tragic villain. He's not.
Yes.
He's not doing this out of malevolence.
no,
He's doing this out of
No,
despair, which is the theme of the expansion.
yeah,
it's just unfortunate that his despair managed to create like a universe-wide cataclysm,
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little bit crazy how much power the ancients have
yeah.
or had.
I'm also glad that Endwalker has sort of ended this now, because now we can just focus on something else. We don't have to
Oh,
worry
it's
about
gonna be
other
so
plot
fresh.
threads and all that shit. It's gone.
The baggage
happy.
is gone, yeah.
Yeah,
We could do anything
I-
now.
yeah,
Well, I think Hermes not. I don't even know if the ancients were necessarily that strong. It's because Hermes created an experimental creature that utilizes an energy source that they did not understand,
yeah.
and he
That's
did this
true.
alone without like consulting others, as was the rules of his society.
Oh my
That's
god.
true.
I'm sorry. I can't believe we haven't mentioned that Hori
Oh.
Boulder was voiced
Voiced.
multiple
Oh, yeah.
throughout the MSQ. I screamed when I saw that the first time.
The
I love
funny
that his
part
voice,
with
but his friend is not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hori Boulder,
Only enough for
Um,
one of them.
Hori Boulder goes off on his own, but Oka Boulder, his brother,
Yeah.
goes off with that woman, and she's not happy. If you find her in Gridania,
Oh, really?
she's so unhappy that she's not with both big boys.
Oh,
He
They
wants them
no.
together.
Oh.
Okay.
I liked Endwalker a lot though.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Is
very
it
good.
Coultonay? Yeah.
It's they had very big shoes to fill, and they filled them.
With
With
very
sand.
big feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had a little bit of some bunions on there, but it was still very good.
Mm. They had
Um,
like, insoles to make it comfortable, but should we keep the
Sweet.
shoe analogy going?
No,
I managed
no,
to type
I'm
them
I'm
in.
done.
the shoe
I'm done with
analogy.
that. Okay.
But
yeah.
I can say now, I think my favorite expansions from best to least liked, I won't say worst, but Endwalker at the top, Shadowbringers right below that, Stormblood below that, A Realm Reborn below that, and then Heavensward at the bottom.
You
Wow.
are
He's
such
contrarian.
You are
I'm
the
a
worst.
contrarian! I
How
just said
dare you
we
put-
all like Endwalker!
A Realm Reborn, and I say
Ah.
this with the biggest love for this game, is shit compared to Heavensward.
I have a nice bit of nostalgia for A Realm. That's why I always replay it, because I think it's just such humble beginnings that are very fun and nice. It's cozy.
It is cozy.
It is cozy.
I'm
The
going-
only two zones that I ever stop and enjoy the ambience in is the Shroud and Thanalan, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that the ranking for the rest of us, and I might be wrong about this, is Endwalker, Shadowbringers, Heavensward, Stormblood, A Realm Reborn.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's.
I would say that's
I would
correct,
agree with
yeah.
that. Yes. Yeah.
Said it
Okay.
Before, I think Stormblood takes good risks. They don't all pan out,
What?
but they're good
No, we
risks.
don't have time to talk about Stormblood.
We don't. We
I'll
are
talk
done.
about it any day.
Okay. That is.
Oh,
it.
real quick.
Okay.
Last thing. I'm sorry. Only thing that slightly irked me was they kind of did like a Star Wars prequel thing where they like explain the midichlorians kind of bit, or it's like you're strong because of Dynamis.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I just thought like, all right, well now we know why we're so strong. It's just
Yeah.
Dynamis.
Yeah,
Mm,
midichlorians are more like they try and science it out a bit more because even at the end of this expansion, we don't fully understand Dynamis.
No.
no.
That's true. Okay. I think on that note, we have completed our.
Should we talk about the last two dungeons?
No, we
Smelt.
don't have time. We do not have
Oh.
time.
No.
Okay.
Save
Save that for next time.
We'll save that.
Yeah, we
We'll-
can do
always-
additional stuff for later.
Yeah. I don't even know. Do we even have time to do questions from the syndicate right now?
You guys might, but not me.
Yeah, so we can't do that. Probably. We can, otherwise we have to wait until next year, which is a long time to wait.
That's only. We'll have a big Mog mail and questions from the syndicate special. Or something.
Okay.
Take some more time.
Yeah, because I would need to change the window setup and shit. Well, there's a lot of work when Georgi leaves. Okay. Anyways, okay, we'll wrap up here. I'm sorry, Syndicate. Your questions will not be read this week either. That means we will do that on the 1st of January. So I guess I'll just reopen the channel so you can just add more questions, I guess, if you have more. All right, we'll see you on the 1st. We'll see you in 2022. That is the end of Speakers of Eidolon Season 7.
Wow.
Thanks for
We'll
watching.
be back with Speakers of a Theorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfEidolon, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, !Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, links in the description. Send us mogmail, speakersxiv.com/mogmail, and have
a lovely holiday season.
Yeah, enjoy
Happy
the holidays. And Happy New Year.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.